All right, so welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at Macbeth.
Macbeth.
Yes, Macbeth, Act 1, Scene 6.
Right.
Have you got your text handy?
I do.
Excellent, so do I.
Yeah.
We are going to be looking at a really interesting scene.
Yeah.
So just to set it up for everybody, we are at Macbeth's castle, right?
What?
King Duncan is arriving.
Yes.
He has no idea what is about to happen, but we, the audience, we know
Yes, so wait.
what Macbeth is planning.
Yeah.
So how does Shakespeare, in this scene, set up this sense of foreboding and contrast?
Well, I think one of the things that he does that's really interesting is that we get Duncan's first impressions of the castle, right?
Uh-huh.
And he says that the castle has a pleasant seat. The air is nimbly and sweetly recommending itself to their gentle senses, and it's all very positive, you know? This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
Right, so it's a beautiful place, and he's arriving, and it feels very welcoming. But we know, the audience, we know that's not the reality.
It's a facade.
It's a total facade.
Yes.
And then it's almost like Shakespeare gives us another little clue with Banquo.
Right.
And his observations about the castle.
Yes.
So what do you think about Banquo's speech about the martlets?
Well, he's talking about the martlets making their nests in the walls of the castle.
Right.
He says, "This guest of summer, the temple-haunting martlet, does approve, by his loved mansionary, that the heaven's breath smells wooingly here. No jutty, frieze, buttress, nor coign of vantage, but this bird hath made his pendant bed and procreant cradle. Where they most breed and haunt, I have observed the air is delicate."
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a mouthful.
That's Shakespeare for you.
But what is he saying here?
Well, he's admiring the birds building their nests in the castle walls, and he sees it as the sign of peace and security. And, he says the air is delicate. It's all very calm and beautiful.
Right.
But we know, because we've seen the previous scenes, that this is all about to be shattered.
Right.
Macbeth is planning to kill Duncan in this very castle.
Right.
So it's a real contrast between this outward appearance of peace and harmony and the inner turmoil that's going on.
Yeah.
Like, those birds have no idea that they're nesting in a place where such a horrible crime is about to happen.
Right. It's like the sense of impending doom almost hanging over the entire scene.
Absolutely.
And then Lady Macbeth enters.
Right.
Talk about a grand entrance. But I don't know, something feels off about it, right?
Yeah, she's very welcoming on the surface.
Mary.
All our service, and every point, twice done and then done double. We're poor and single business to contend against those honors deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house.
Yeah.
For those of old and the late dignities heaped up to them, we rest your hermits. It's all very elaborate, but there's something about her language that feels insincere and over the top,
Like she's trying way too hard
Exactly.
to convince him, to convince everybody that she's happy he's there.
Exactly. It's all a big show.
Yeah.
She's using all this religious language, too, calling him your majesty, referring to themselves as your hermits.
Yes.
But it feels hollow.
Yes. Like she's trying to mask her true intentions.
Exactly.
But Duncan, bless his heart, he doesn't pick up on any of this, does he?
No, he's completely oblivious.
Yeah, he's totally taken in by the whole charade.
And he even calls Macbeth a noble host, which, knowing what we know...
Oh, it's painful.
It's painful. The dramatic irony is just, it's so thick you could cut it with a knife.
It's so good, right? It's such good writing.
Yeah.
But it's almost hard to watch because you just want to yell at Duncan and say, don't trust them.
I know, right?
And then Lady Macbeth, she responds to Duncan's trust, and she does not let up.
No, she doubles down.
She doubles down. She says, your servants ever have theirs themselves, and what is theirs, incompt, to make their audit at your highness's pleasure, still to return your own.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she's piling it on.
She's laying it on thick. Yeah, it's like she's trying to convince herself as much as she's trying to convince him.
Right. It's almost like the more she talks, the more suspicious she becomes.
Exactly. And Shakespeare's really good at doing that,
Yeah.
Giving these characters these speeches that are so full of double meaning.
Yeah, and you can just see her true nature kind of peeking through the cracks.
Yeah, it's almost as if she's trying to overcompensate for something. Like the guilt is already starting to eat away at her.
Right. So what do you think, what's the big takeaway here? What should our listeners be paying attention to as we move forward in the play?
Well, this scene really sets the stage for everything that's going to happen.
Right.
We see the contrast between appearance and reality, the power of ambition and deception.
And that fragility of trust.
Yeah, Duncan trusts Macbeth completely, and that trust is going to be betrayed in the worst possible way.
Right.
This scene also raises questions about the nature of evil. Like, is Lady Macbeth inherently evil?
Right.
Or is she driven to these terrible acts by her ambition?
It's a good question.
It's a question that we're going to be grappling with throughout the play.
And that whole idea of unchecked ambition. Right.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. Both Macbeth and Lady Macbeth are consumed by their ambition, and it ultimately leads to their downfall.
Absolutely.
So I think the key takeaway here is to pay attention to how these themes of ambition, deception, and the nature of evil develop as the play unfolds.
It's going to be a wild ride.
It is a wild ride, and we're just getting started.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll be back next time with another deep dive into Macbeth.
Sound good.
All right, see you then.
Bye.